My name is Shannon. I'm almost 32. I'll be 32 in a couple days, actually. And about 7 years ago, I started escorting and I started working in the adult film industry. I've been in Toronto for about 10 years or so. I came here after I graduated from studio art. You know, I grew up in a very conservative family near Peterborough. Not religious, but conservative. We didn't talk about anything. You know, neither my sibling or I didn't date at all while we were living at home. And I was super awkward, but I always had an intrigue in the sex industry. I remember back in university when I first started to kind of experiment with my sexuality, there was this rub and tug place that I always drove by in second year. And I remember looking up stuff about it and I was like, oh my God, I could get paid for giving blowjobs? And I never admitted that to anyone, and I never took it anywhere because I was too embarrassed, but I thought this was the greatest thing in the world. I looked into porn a little bit, but I didn't tell anyone, and I didn't do anything with it. And then one party, I was with my friends, and we were joking around, and I was like, ha ha ha, I almost did porn once. And they were all like, well, you should. So I called my best friend the next day. He was like, okay, well, if that's what you want to do, let's do this safely. And he's like, why don't you take a look into escorting as well? Because it's a little bit more anonymous if you do change your name. So then I started applying to escort agencies. I had a job as a promo girl at Oasis Aqua Lounge, the sex club, which is where my husband and I met.
Found out I was pregnant. It came as a bit of a shock. I thought I'd be working longer than I did. I thought I'd be working for at least a couple months until I really started to show, but I wasn't really comfortable with it.
But I didn't like the idea of people touching me when I was pregnant, and I posted an ad letting my regulars know. I was like, okay, you know, I'm retiring. You're welcome to reach out to me if you want, but I'm not coming back. And, you know, it had been 6 years, right, of full time. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of, you know, energy to give. And so I think the break came at the exact right time. And then I worked full time at Oasis for my whole pregnancy, which was great. So I still got to be, you know, involved in the sex industry, all around really sex positive people. And then I got my maternity leave, and now I have this little munchkin. She was about 4 or 5 months old, and we were not struggling, but a couple extra dollars wouldn't hurt. So I reached out to all of my clients that had reached out to me, and I figured since I knew them, you know, that was perfectly fine. It was great to be able to contribute because my husband's been working basically 7 days a week since I've met him, and he's tired. So it was nice to be able to help out with that. And to be honest, it's been a very nice boost to the self-esteem, which is a big thing. Like, I didn't realize how good it was going to be for my self-esteem. And now as a mother, the self-esteem thing is also great because I'm, you know, still trying to navigate my new, you know, postpartum body, which is not the same as it was before. And so to have people still, you know, desire that is awesome. What are you doing? I'm going to kind of gauge it of when I think she'll actually be able to understand and what she'll be able to understand. I think at first I had the idea of, you know, getting money for hugs. When you're, you know, if you're upset, if you're sad, and I'll be like, well, that's what mom does for a living, and kind of go from there. A lot of it is talking, a lot of it is hugging, a lot of it is cuddling, and, you know, it's important, and people need that. I want her to feel that she can come talk to me and be open and honest and inquisitive about anything. But I mean, this little thing is my world, so there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make sure she's okay and she's happy, and I want her to feel loved and not judged no matter what happens.